Welcome.
Just few hours after their lavish wedding, Ebele's world came crashing down. Her husband, Ade, had filed for divorce, unable to forgive a secret she had kept hidden for so long. As she knelt before him, tears streaming down her face, she pleaded, "I'm so sorry, Ade. I never meant to deceive you. Please, give me another chance. Remember our vows to stand by each other through good and bad times, in sickness and in health." But Ade's heart had turned to stone, her words falling on deaf ears. "You should have told me from the start," he said coldly. His back turned as he walked out of the hotel room, leaving their honeymoon to become the most miserable day of Ebele's life. But how did it come to this? How did Ebele's dream of love and happiness turn into a nightmare? It all started some years ago in the quiet community of Isoko. Ebele was known as the most beautiful girl in town. Her father, Mr. Osas, was a humble carpenter, and her mother, Madam Osaro, sold petty goods in the market. Ebele's dream was simple. She wanted to study theatre arts at the university. But after her secondary school exams, her dreams were dashed. Her parents, too poor to afford her tuition, had other plans for her. "Ebele," her father began gently one evening, "you have done well in your exams, but we cannot afford to send you to the university now. I have discussed with your mother, and we have decided that you should learn tailoring while we try to save money." Devastated, Ebele protested through tears. "But Papa, I have no passion for tailoring or any other trade. I want to go to the university." "I understand," her father replied with a heavy heart. "I wish you could further your studies, but I have to think of your siblings too. If you go to the university now, how much do I earn to take care of your siblings and still pay for your school fees? Please listen to me and do as I say. We simply cannot afford it." That night, Ebele could not sleep. Her dreams were slipping away because of her family's poverty. Determined to change her faith, she went out early the next morning to sort out million jobs, and luckily, she was able to secure one in a beer parlor to work as a sales girl. She came home and broke the news to her parents. "I just got a job in the popular Chop Life bar down the street," she said with smiles and joy written all over her. "I want to work and save money for my studies." "You can't work in such a place," her father said with disappointment written all over his face. "You would be so exposed to bad influences in such a place of work." "Why can't she work there?" her mother cut in. "No one will influence her. She's only going there to work so she can raise money for her university education. You are always making my children disobey me because of my financial status," Mr. Osas said angrily as he went inside the house. "Don't mind your father," Ebele's mother said to her. "You will work there and save money for your studies. I heard rich customers come to that bar and give their salesperson some tips." "That's true, Mama," Ebele said, smiling sheepishly. "I will save money in a year and I will start school." "That's good, my dear," Mama Osara said. "Try and shine your eyes when you go there. Look out for rich men so you don't end up marrying a poor man like your father." Mama we sabi," Ebele said, and they both laughed out loud. The next morning, Ebele dressed beautifully and was set to start a new job. Her father, who was ready to go to his carpentry shop, turned to her and said, "I pray your mother will not lead you to your doom. Learning tailoring would have been a better option, but since you choose to listen to your mother, count me out when the consequences of your actions come." "Nothing will happen, Papa. I will be careful," Ebele replied. Ebele enjoyed her job as a salesperson in Chop Life Bar. The bar was the biggest for the locals in that community. The job wasn't easy, but she earned tips from wealthy customers and she started saving. At the bar, she befriended Prudence, another sales girl, and together they navigated the challenges of their work. One evening, as they were walking home, a young man named Chika approached Ebele and asked her for a relationship. Chika was serving his uncle, who owned an electronics shop in Isoko main market. He was supposed to serve his uncle for 4 years before his uncle would settle him to start his own business. When he approached Ebele, he had already served for 3 years, with only 1 year left for his uncle to settle him. He explained everything to Ebele and she accepted to go out with him. Weeks into her relationship with Chika, her friend Prudence met a young man named Ibude. Ibude was a trader who traveled to the north to buy tomatoes in large quantities to sell to the retailers in the community. Ibude asked Prudence for a relationship and she accepted. Ibude advised Prudence to stop working in the bar and he set up a small provision shop for her to start a business. Seeing her friend's fortune, Ebele began to lose interest in Chika. He was not able to provide for her like her friend's boyfriend. One day, Ebele stopped by Prudence's shop when she returned from work. Her friend offered her a soft drink and they began to chat. "You are so lucky," Ebele said to her friend. "This is the benefit of dating a real man." "Don't say that," Prudence warned her. "Chika is trying his best for you. Try and be patient with him. He will soon finish serving his master and be settled. By then, he will buy you all you need. At least, you get to see him always, unlike my own man, who is so busy." "I prefer the busy one," Ebele replied, "as long as he gives me money. Look at you now. Your skin looks so fresh. You're wearing an expensive wig and you have a good phone. What do I get by seeing Chika always?" "Don't say that, Ebele. Chika loves you and he's trying his best. Just be a little patient with him," Prudence said, trying to make her see reasons why she should be happy in her relationship. But her words fell on a duck's back. Immediately after Ebele left Prudence's shop, she called Chika and broke up with him over the phone. Chika pleaded with her and tried to question her decision. "What did I do wrong?" he asked in a tense voice. "You are not man enough. I need a man who can take care of my needs," she said harshly as she cut the call. A week after their breakup, she met a young man named Ibekwe. Ibekwe was a businessman who owned a big boutique in the community and he was a regular customer at Chop Life Bar. Ibekwe showered Ebele with so many gifts, the type that Chika couldn't afford to give her. Ebele was so happy. She opened up to her mother about the man she was dating, and Madam Mosaro encouraged her. "I told you you would meet prominent men at your workplace. Make sure you hold him tight. Don't allow him to slip off your fingers." Mama di mama. "That's why I like relating with you. You are not old school like Papa," Ebele said, hailing her mother. "I don't want you to make the kind of mistake I made. You have to open your eyes now that you are still very young and fresh." Ebele enjoyed the lavish life Ibekwe gave her, and she was beginning to look more beautiful and attractive than before. One day, while returning from work, Ebele met a young man named Dall E. He was a rich man from a neighboring town. Dall E asked her out, and she accepted him, not minding that she was already in a relationship with Ibekwe. She decided to date the both of them. After all, they are not from the same community, and none of them will ever find out, she thought to herself. Both men showered her with so many gifts and money. She enjoyed her life to the fullest, but her joy and fun were about to crash without her knowing. 4 months after she started dating Odili, she found out she was pregnant. Since she was having an affair with both men at the same time, she didn't know who was responsible for the pregnancy. She confided in her mother, who advised her to keep the pregnancy and tell both men that she was pregnant. Any of them who accepts the pregnancy may agree to marry you, her mother said. But what if both men accept the pregnancy? She asked her mother. Then you choose the one who is richer and tell the other one you had a miscarriage. That's a brilliant idea, mother. I never thought about that. But to her greatest shock, neither of the men accepted responsibility. Ibekwe claimed to have a medical condition that could hinder him from getting a woman pregnant, while Odili accused her of infidelity, stating that he had heard rumors about her dating other men in the community. Both men broke up with her, leaving Ebele devastated and alone. With no other option, Ebele decided to keep the baby. Her mother was supportive, but her father was furious when he found out. He felt betrayed by Ebele's actions and was disappointed that she didn't follow his advice. I warned you, Ebele, but you chose to disobey me. Now, you have to face the consequences of your actions alone, her father said sternly. Ebele gave birth to a baby boy and named him Obinna. The responsibility of being a single mother weighed heavily on her. She couldn't return to work at the bar as she had to care for her child. Her dreams of furthering her education seemed even more distant now. She struggled to make ends meet, doing odd jobs and relying on the little support her mother provided. Years passed and Ebele's life was far from what she had envisioned. She regretted the choices she had made, especially turning her back on Chika, who had genuinely loved her. She often thought about him and wondered what her life would have been like if she had been patient. Meanwhile, Chika had completed his service with his uncle and had become a successful businessman. He married a woman who stood by him during his struggles, and they had a beautiful family. One day, Ebele ran into Chika at the market. She was ashamed of her appearance and she tried to avoid him, but he recognized her and approached her. They exchanged pleasantries and Chika noticed the sadness in her eyes. Ebele, how have you been? He asked with genuine concern. I'm fine, she replied, forcing a smile. And you? I'm doing well, thanks to God, Chika said. He paused for a moment before adding, I heard about your situation. I'm sorry things didn't work out for you as you had hoped. Ebele felt tears well up in her eyes but quickly blinked them away. It's okay, life doesn't always go as planned. Chika reached into his pocket and handed her some money. Please take this. It's not much, but I hope it helps. Ebele hesitated but eventually accepted the money. Thank you, Chika. You have always been kind. Chika nodded and smiled before walking away. As Ebele watched him leave, she felt a deep sense of regret. If I was a bit patient, I would have lived the life that my mother had always dreamed for me, she murmured within herself. She reached the house and told her mother about Chika. It's time to dust yourself off and start going out. I will take care of your baby, her mother advised. Live as though you've never given birth, so you can start attracting rich men again. You cannot allow your past to hinder you. That's true, Mama, she replied quietly. I will do everything possible to attract and make a rich man marry me. I don't want to be single. As time went by, Ebele met a very rich man named Ade. Ade was a businessman from a faraway community. He came to Isoko to visit the king for a contract worth good sum of money. On his way from the king's palace, he saw Ebele and fell in love with her instantly. He collected her contact and asked her for a date. In the evening, Ebele dropped her baby with her mother and went out to meet Ade. Ade took her to a nice restaurant where they could sit and talk. And after hours of talking, Ebele discovered that Ade was a rich man from a well-disciplined religious background. She really wanted this kind of man in her life, but she was scared that he may not accept her if he finds out she is a single mother. So she decided to lie to him. She told Ade that she was a virgin and wouldn't want to be involved in any sexual activity with someone she is not yet married to. "That's very impressive," he said. "I love women with good morals." Ade's love and admiration towards Ebele increased instantly, and he even promised to be giving her monthly allowances that would be enough to cater for her needs. She went home happily and told her mother everything that happened between her and Ade. "Please, mother, help me and keep this secret. Help me and hide my daughter. When Ade visits, he loves women with good morals. He may not accept me if he knows that I'm a single mother." "That's okay," her mother replied. "You have to talk to your siblings too, so that they will keep their mouths shut." After a while, Ade became a regular visitor in Mr. Osa's house, and each time he visits, it's either they would hide Ebele's daughter in the room or one of her siblings takes her out on a stroll. Ade was so generous, always coming with gifts and money for every member of the family. Because of his generosity, Ebele's family all accepted to comply with her by hiding our baby, except her father, who always persuades her to open up to the young man. One day, Mr. Osas called his daughter to have a discussion with her. "Ebele, this young man really loves you, and he has done so much for our family. When do you intend to open up to him?" "I will do that soon, Papa. Don't bother yourself about that," she replied her father casually. "How soon?" her father asked. "The earlier the better." "He may leave me if I tell him now," Ebele replied. And as they were talking, her mother steps in and joined in the discussion. Why should she tell Ade about her child now? They have only dated for 4 months. Don't you enjoy the gifts and money that the young man gives to us? She asked in a harsh tone. "I don't want to be a part of your conspiracy," Mr. Osas said. "Both of you are adding more salt to an injury. Don't come crying when the consequences of your action comes. Nothing will happen. She will open up to him when it is the right time." After a while, Ade proposed to Ebele. She was so shocked. She was not expecting it to happen that fast. She rushed home and shared the good news with her family, begging her father to still maintain his silence and promising to open up to the young man about her child soon. Ade invited her to meet his family members in his hometown, and he had told them initially about her and how she's a virtuous woman. They liked her instantly because she was beautiful and homely. Ade's mother praised her. "It's hard to see a beautiful and responsible lady like you in this present age. You are welcome in our family." The marriage preparation was easy. Ade had enough money to finance everything, and his family was so supportive. Finally, the day for the wedding came. Guests came from far and wide to attend the wedding. Ade's business associates came in their flashy cars to grace the occasion. The hall was filled with family and well-wishers who came to celebrate the couple. They were given lots of gifts and big envelopes of money because of the caliber of persons Ade invited. Then, it was time to finally say goodbye to well-wishers so they could start their journey as husband and wife. Ade was so happy. It was finally time to make love to his virgin wife. "Let's freshen up, my love, so we can relax in bed," he said to Ebele, with love sparkling in his eyes. Ebele's heart began to race very fast. Her lies are about to unfold. Maybe she should tell Ade now and beg for forgiveness. Hopefully, he will understand her and forgive her because he loves her so much. I have something to tell you, she began with a shaking voice. I love you so much. That is why I did what I'm about telling you. What could that be, my love? Ade responded, looking straight to Ebele with a loving smile. Can't that wait till after we consummate our marriage? Let's go and shower. We have forever for you to tell me whatever you wish. Ade, I am not a virgin and I have a child, Ebele said with a voice barely above a whisper. What did you say? Ade asked with shock. Ebele repeated what she said and knelt down in tears to ask for forgiveness. She opened up on everything that had happened in her life and wept bitterly, hoping that Ade will understand. Ade was mute for a few minutes. He had been greatly deceived. He stood up from the bed with rage. You are a green snake. I can never live with a woman like you. I don't want to come back and meet you in this room, he said as he went out angrily. Ebele sat on the bed weeping. She hopes that her husband will change his mind when he comes back. But Ade did not return to the hotel until after 3 days. He handed over some documents to her. They were court orders. He had filed for divorce. I don't want to see you near me, he said. I would have sued you and your family for the deceit, but I have forgiven your family because of the initial love I had for you. I cannot continue this marriage because I will never be able to trust you. If you are privileged to meet another person, try to be sincere because honesty is very important in a relationship. My sisters will come today and pack the gifts that was given to us. If you continue to stay in the hotel room, you will accommodate debt for yourself. Ade left the hotel room without looking back. He was deeply hurt. Ebele went back to the house and cried bitterly. She blamed her mother for all her misfortune and pleaded with her father to forgive her. She wished she had listened to her father. She wouldn't have been where she is now. She took her child and rented a small house far from home to start her life afresh. She wished she had come clean with Ade from the start. She wouldn't have been where she is now. Maybe he would have still married her because he loved her. She learned her lesson, but in a very bitter way. Thank you for watching. Do well to subscribe for more amazing stories.